Okay, so this episode we're going to start looking at the back. I think the only area I need to worry about is this bit back here, to be honest. So if I try a magnet over here, so we seem to have good metal pretty much everywhere. So that's all looking good, and then it's okay to about there, and then it starts to just fall off here. Okay, so I think we're looking at this patch here, much like the other side. I've clearly got something up on that as well, but I consider that another part. So if we try to get underneath, see what we can see in here. Actually, because there is metal there, I need to get some better light in there and have a look. So we're going to get the wheel up, going to get the back up, get the wheel off. We'll have a look in there, better look at what we've got, and see what we need to do. It might be just a case of clearing up this bit here and seeing, but the problem I've got is if I need to make a patch, I really need to do it before I cut into that, because I don't have a template to work against. Or I could go afterwards and see how it comes out. Well, first thing, get the wheel up and then we'll look. Okay, so the wheel's off, the car's lifted. We have a little look. So first of all, this strap, which is meant to work with the suspension, clearly needs replacing. So I'm going to have a look at what to do there. This bit here, which I need to replace on the other side, is good and firm, so I'm not worried about that. So looks like I need to order one of those and one of these for the suspension, and we'll come along to doing the other bits later, but that's something I think I could do once I'm up and running. We've got a little bit of rust showing here, so what I'm going to do is just take a wire brush to this, and then I'm going to paint it with Hammerite, which I think will deal with that bit. And then on the other side, I still haven't got light there. I'll be back in a second. Okay, so here we are underneath the car, trying to get decent light on there for everybody. So I'll put that up here. Okay, so we can see a bit better now. This actually seems to be metal. What's confusing, and then this is also metal. So what they've done is they've laid one patch of metal over another, by the look of it. And then use some filler in order to get the shape. So I don't know what to do. Do I take this out? Because it's clearly, I don't know how well I've been looking at that, but you can see here that's clearly rusty underneath that piece. And it looks like it's probably welded along there, right up high. But I don't know, it doesn't actually look as bad as the other side was. So I'm not sure what to do. So I'm not sure what to do, so what we're going to do is we're going to do this bit up here first, then we're going to take this off and clean it up and paint it, and that gives me time to think about what we're going to do here. My current thought, and you've seen how often I change my mind, but my current thought is I'm just going to grind it back to see what it looks like, because I think we've got quite a bit of metal in here, and having done that I might then just reapply filler, but I need to recognise I do have some rusty metal on the inside, and so I've got to decide what to do with that. Now I might maybe just get rust converter in there or something. Anyway, we're going to start with the other bits that I talked about. So when we look at this bit, what we've got is a couple of rust holes. So we've got a little hole there. This along here isn't actually, this is just a weld. So it might be that the metal under isn't quite as good, but we've got a hole here, Here, this is actually metal underneath it. So it is a case that we've got metal over metal, and then a lot of filler to get the shape. And with that in mind, at this stage I'm not convinced I'll do a better job, so I'm going to try to just weld that hole and this hole, see how it goes. Here I'm going to apply rust converter, and then go with body filler again to recover the shape, because, you know, got to be honest about my skill set and the ability to fabricate this at this stage. You know, it's something I can come back to if I want to. As I said before, this is about initially trying to get it up and running, and then make it into a rolling restoration and start working through bits when I got it there. So that's what we're going to do here. So when I've done the painting back here, and when I've done this, and when I've painted this, then we'll come back and have a look at how things are. So whilst the paint's drying, we'll deal with this. So this is a bit of a sand, and then welding a new piece in underneath. There we go, bit of a sand just to get back down to the metal. You know, they've got a nice curve on it, so but this bit is a big rusty hole, so we'll cut this out, we'll put something new in here, and hopefully by the time we've done that, we'll be back to the other stuff. Okay, so we've been in there and cleaned it out, and clearly got some hammerite on it. We've done the same here as well, and if we go underneath, then we can hopefully see we've got in there, and having done rust converter, we then put hammerite over the top. Just here we've fixed that piece, welded something in, which is good and solid. We've got rid of the rust, and we've just got a bit of filler on there to get the shape, so it's going to need sanding down. And here we welded over the bits where we had holes, and we decided to leave it, so that's now going to get sanded to get the shape back. And that would be that. We also, over on the far one, that was exposed still, so we added a bit of filler there just to get the shape right. So we're gonna, this is the one that will take the time, but we will work through them and get those all sorted. We're just gluing the seal back to keep that in place, And so now we're coming over to have a look at Scuttle. Is it the Scuttle Panel? Or the apron, or I don't know what it's called. Anyway, so we've got some bubbles in here. So we're going to take off the wipers and the water spouts, and then we're going to get in there and try to hopefully just sand it, but we know we've got a little hole here. We had a similar hole on the other side, but I'm hoping that these are okay, and it just needs sanding down and stuff, but we'll see. But that's what we're going to move on to now. Okay, we have part of a job, or halfway through part of a job. I did do some video in, but the file has got corrupted somehow. So on here, on the apron or scuttle panel, whatever it's called, we had a few holes here. And then all of this, although it was bubbly, was actually okay. So having taken out the filler that was here, I've been reapplying it. We had a couple of holes here and here, and then we just had a few bubbles on the other side, and of course down there. What I've done here is I decided not to weld the holes, but I've used fiberglass filler instead. And the reason for that is I am worried about welding here and getting spatter onto the windscreen, which would destroy the windscreen. And I know I need to replace the seals because of this. That's how bad this is here. So I know I need to replace the seals because of that, but the windscreen's actually good. So I don't want to have that issue particularly. So I was being careful. And the other aspect is, below here, it's actually all the wiring behind the dash. So we've got lots of wiring and stuff in there. And so again, I don't really want a lot of heat that might then melt what is obviously quite excellent British car wiring. So with that in mind, I decided along here to put in the fiberglass filler, which I think will be better in terms of from a water point of view. And the holes were small, okay, they weren't huge. I did manage to wreck this in the process of grinding some of that back. I hadn't realised how close to it was. It wasn't close actually, I was hitting it. So I'm going to have to replace that now. But yeah, so this is progressing, and we just missed out a step where we looked at what the holes look like. So we're making progress. Right, so at the front I've currently got some filler drying, and I'm just looking here at this bottom bit. Now I know that because I'm going to be I'm converting this over from a rubber to chrome bumper, this gets changed, and because I don't have the kit yet, I'm not quite sure how. And so I don't particularly want to start welding things if I'm then going to have to cut them off again. And I'm not buying the chrome until I've painted it. So I know I'm going to have to paint this bit again anyway, even after I've done it once, simply because it requires some cutting and stuff. So I think a plate gets welded on here and on this side. I'm not sure what happens in the middle. Which is, of course, where I have the most rust. So what am I going to do? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clean this up. I'm not going to do any more than that. So a wire wheel, maybe a grinding disc to it. Check I haven't got holes elsewhere, because if I've got holes elsewhere other than these main bits, then I might do something about it, but probably not. I'm probably just going to get it clean, so that I can then do something with it later. So that's what we're going to start on now. So we clean this off now. This side looks okay. I'm not sure about this hole here. This appears to be where the bracket for the exhaust is connected. We have a problem here, so it looks like the rear valence is rusted through here, and then also this strengthening plate on top of it. So both of those are going to need doing, but I want to see what it looks like first. And then this side, it looks a bit like the other. This backing bit has rusted through a little bit though, as on this side. So, but it doesn't look too bad overall. So what we're going to do is, well, you know, once I've got the kit, and I haven't even ordered that yet, we will deal with this. Until then, we're going to leave it as is. I'll get some. I think I'll get it all painted now in rust converter just to protect it, and then get some primer on there, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so because I'm not going to touch this until I've got a bumper, it's going to be a short episode. Because I've done the stuff at the front and it all looks okay there, and in fact I've even gone around and sanded the car now, preparation for other stuff, so got all the dust and stuff of it. So short episode, finishing here. Be back next weekend.